Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a mass shooting in Alabama wounded 16 people and leaves a university coming to terms with the aftermath. Plus, 2 organizations in the area are helping the unhoused community with the need to feed.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. Thanks for joining us this Monday morning. We're inching up to that 6:30 mark, and today is November 11th, Veterans Day. So let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I know some people have plans for parades and different things like that for Veterans Day. What can they expect?
They can expect for it to be sunny by the time that most of those parades happen. So in the morning, while we are seeing that rain, that won't be as much of an issue as you're heading into your evening and overnight hours especially. But let's take a look at the wind, something you might not be considering. Most of the area, we're having relatively low winds, but it's not calm. We have 5 miles here at Hazard, as well as Jackson, London, and Somerset. And we have calmer wind for Pikeville and Clintwood. There is that rain this morning, but it's on its way out. So by the time we're hitting that lunchtime hour, we should be completely clear and then continue to be clear throughout tomorrow as well. And our high temperatures for today, if you are celebrating or going to a parade, they will be warmer. We're seeing the mid to upper 60s with some places even seeing that 70-degree mark being hit. Middlesboro and Jonesville are some of those cities today. And as we're heading through the next couple hours, that day planner has beautiful weather ahead with the sunny skies starting to peak out around that 1 p.m. hour and staying clear overnight. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. Tuskegee University is in mourning today after homecoming weekend celebrations turned to tragedy. Officials say an 18-year-old is dead and at least 16 people are injured after someone opened fire at the historically black school in Alabama. Amy Kiley has more.
One popped up right in front of us. There was multiple gunshots.
At least 1 person is dead and 16 are injured after a mass shooting at Tuskegee University yesterday.
At that point, I just remember, get down and run.
Witnesses say it happened during the HBCU's homecoming weekend.
All of a sudden, people are pushing and shoving. And I didn't think nothing of it because it's like a crowded environment. People are trying to get through. But instead of it being like one person pushing and shoving, the entire crowd shifted.
Officials say a suspect arrested in connection with the incident is charged with possession of a machine gun. They say he was caught leaving the scene with a converted firearm. The Macon County coroner identifies the person who died as 18-year-old Latavion Johnson. Officials say he wasn't a student. They say the other victims include a dozen people taken to the hospital with gunfire injuries and 4 who got hurt in other ways.
Our hearts are broken, and we're reminded of the importance and the fragility of life.
Even if I didn't get shot firsthand, my life has still been impacted by this.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Classes at Tuskegee University are canceled today and grief counselors are on hand. It is unclear if the suspect who was arrested has an attorney yet. A man accused of killing a Scott County deputy in May of 2023 could have his trial moved to Jefferson County. Stephen Sheehan-Shang is accused of shooting and killing Deputy Caleb Conley during a traffic stop. In court last week, Sheehan-Shang's attorney argued that he won't be able to get a fair trial in Scott County and suggested it be moved to Jefferson County because of the larger population. The judge in the case proposed Shelby County because it is out of the news coverage area. The judge will enter an order on whether the trial will be moved and to where at a later date. State police are investigating a situation where a man reportedly overdosed in Clay County. 49-year-old Sean Gibson of Oneida was arrested in connection to an active warrant during a traffic stop on Highway 66. While in the midst of the traffic stop, Gibson reportedly ingested drugs, which resulted in his overdose. Gibson was taken to the hospital in Manchester, where he was later pronounced dead by the Clay County coroner. There was a house fire in Powell County, according to our sister station. County Judge Executive Eddie Barnes says flames broke out at a 2-story home on Caudle Road in Stanton Friday morning. He says 3 of the county's fire departments were on scene. One firefighter was hurt and was taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay. The owners were not home at the time of the fire. Organizations in Pikeville are working to give back to those in need, watching that need increase as the temperatures decrease. The East Kentucky Dream Center and Pikeville Community Kitchen are two of several organizations in the area that provide free meals and resources to the unhoused and underfed communities. The kitchen now serves breakfast every morning, Monday through Friday, hoping to reach more people in need. That breakfast is added to the calendar alongside lunch programs that are available every weekday, with organizations saying it takes a village to meet the growing needs.
I think a lot of people don't understand how big of a need and how other people need this type of stuff. You know, we work together with all the other organizations in the community.
I feel like that is a work of God. I feel like God has joined us together to serve.
Dream Center officials say they are always accepting donations and volunteers, especially as we approach the holidays. Find out more about that on our website, WYMT.com. Friday, a discussion was hosted by the Interim Joint Committee focusing on cell phones in Kentucky schools. Two presentations were given showing the negative impacts phones in schools have had on children through the years. At the start of this school year, Bourbon County High School banned the use of cell phones in classrooms. Jessamine County Schools implemented a similar policy at the beginning of the school year. This past weekend, students in UK's Greek community hosted a cheerleading competition to support women, children, and families in need. Bring It On is an annual event benefiting Make-A-Wish and The Nest. 13 sororities and 13 frats teamed up to perform cheerleading routines for a panel of judges and a sold-out crowd at the Singletary Center. Organizers say they're glad to see the students go all out for an important cause.
It gets me so emotional to see all of these kids and their passion for doing something that is going to benefit the community, and also just to put themselves out there and not be embarrassed because they know this is bigger than themselves.
This was the 16th year of the event. Nearly $65,000 was raised for the two charities. Alpha Phi and Sigma Nu won the overall prize. The Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville recognized humanitarian work in its annual award ceremony this past weekend. The center awarded NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal with the Humanitarian of the Year award for the millions of dollars his charity has raised. Musician Nile Rodgers and Equal Justice Initiative founder Brian Stevenson were also recognized for their work.
Very important thing that we have this here in Louisville, because this is a building and an organization that represents Muhammad Ali, who's one of the most important and meaningful, transformative people in history. And the fact that it's in Louisville is a really amazing thing for our city.
This was the 11th year of the Ali Center Humanitarian Awards. It's the center's biggest fundraiser. Multiple counties in eastern Kentucky have implemented burn bans. Yesterday, Pike County Judge Executive Ray Jones signed an executive order for those in the county to stop burning. The ban was put in place due to extremely dry conditions. Officials say that ban won't be in effect until further notice. Some other counties that implemented burn bans were not Breathitt, Johnson, and Lawrence. Temperatures are starting to come down a little bit, and you may be starting to use firewood for your home. As Ben Beddoes explains, it is important to know exactly where you get it, though.
Mary O'Malley of the Daniel Boone National Forest says buying local is important.
We want to buy our firewood locally so that we can prevent transport of pests, of insects, of diseases into the state, into new areas. Pests and diseases on wood can't move very far on their own, but when we carry them, we can take them hundreds of miles and really reinfest new areas.
Some invasive bugs include the spongy moth, emerald ash borer, spotted lanternfly, and Asian longhorn beetle.
Many of them are not in eastern Kentucky or the Daniel Boone National Forest yet, so really collecting firewood locally is a way to prevent bringing those new infestations to an area that we're trying so hard to protect.
Local firewood places will have safe firewood already treated.
You can purchase USDA certified wood that is has been heated to an extent to kill off these invasive pests has been treated to be safe.
There are websites that can help you find local sellers.
Don't Move Firewood is a fabulous organization. It's a national organization that's out there to help you find where you can purchase firewood safely. What are the concerns for your area? You know, what species are we concerned about?
In Winchester, I'm Ben Beddoes, WKYT.
Your forecast highs for your Veterans Day will be in the mid to upper 60s, with some places getting a little bit warmer as you're heading more towards that Tennessee and Virginia border today. And we'll continue to see these temperatures stay nice for the rest of the day, but as we go into tomorrow, that's when we see a drop in the temperature. But let's look at that satellite and radar as that rain is finally pushing through the area. And by the time we head to that lunch hour, we should be completely dry, leaving that mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day and into your tomorrow as well. But as you're heading off to that bus stop today, those temperatures will be about 61 degrees and cloudy as you're heading off to school, warming up by the time lunch comes around and that sun will start to peek through. But as you're heading home, it'll be 68 degrees and sunny skies. Madison.
All right, Megan, thank you. A Southern Kentucky postal carrier is being called a hero for saving a man's life. Stanford carrier Connie Durbin was recognized Friday with the Postmaster General Hero Award. She was on her route in Lincoln County back in July when she heard someone calling for help. She later discovered Kevin Stamper in a ditch with his riding lawnmower on top of him. Stamper said despite calling for help, no one heard him, but he firmly believes Durbin's actions saved his life.
Yeah, I was laying there and I said, Lord, if you don't send the angel my way, I said, pretty soon, I said, I don't think I can stand much longer. And I'd say within about 5 minutes, she pulled up.
I didn't expect anything. I didn't, but maybe God put me there for a reason. Maybe I was running early that day for a reason.
Stamper said he and his wife returned from vacation early and their mail was still on hold. So it is remarkable that Durbin even stopped since there wasn't any mail for them that day. Thank you for joining us. The time is now 6:41. Still to come on Mountain News this morning. Raging infernos for firefighters are battling wildfires on both sides of the United States.